Hi, Tobi.
And that's it. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Great. Thanks for having me.
Of course. And how excited are you with its second season?
Ah, man, I'm bursting, man. I'm excited. I'm so happy.
Now, let's talk about Bunny because, he's like in this rooftop trying to stay safe, but he has this bright idea and asks Mike to be what? Sweden, Switzerland.
Yeah. I think Mike got the gist of of what he was aiming for there. I guess the delivery was a bit wrong, but it works. Whatever you understand it to be, we need that. That was the
Yeah, so he asked
point.
Mike to be mediator, but then I don't know, I'm starting to think that he might be regretting this idea.
Well, I think not to spoil anything. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but I think it's wasn't an idea that he would have initially thought or he's particularly pleased with. So yeah, it didn't pan out the way that he wanted.
Yes, I could foresee a little bit of Bunny getting. Obviously, we know he's been found from the second episode we got to watch, and
Yeah,
that he might be facing some physical activity. What do you think? What can you?
yeah. I think we're just gonna have to find out, man. I'm sorry. At this rate, I don't even know myself. We'll see what happens.
Oh, I'm just saying, how safe can you be in a jail, right?
Well, not very safe. I mean, there's a constant threat of violence on you anyway, and especially whether he's outside of it, it's he's afforded a certain amount of protection, but now inside, it's especially after the riots, it's different. It's different now. It's like okay, we're gonna have to switch to a different mode, I guess.
Survival mode is definitely to its highest. But
Yeah, that's right.
so let's talk about your character. You're obviously not the leader. You're the leader, but not a leader of like the good guys, you know? But yeah,
Mhm.
how do you break down your character? Because at the end of the day, we're kind of like rooting for you as a bad guy. You make it so like you're humbling, like we just want to give you a cuddly hug.
um, um, sorry, what was the question? Sorry, that was funny. I was just laughing.
How have you handled breaking down your character so that we can see you this way?
Right. I think with the characters, one of the core personalities of this character is how he uses humor, and with that comes the different aspects of humor. So being charming is one of them. But for Bunny, how I express his use of humor is that it's a buffer that allows him to observe from a I guess a safe distance, a safe emotional distance. It allows him to observe his very harsh realities, um, and I guess not be too hurt by it, and not take it too personal. Yeah, but yeah, being humorous also triggers it kind of elicits a certain relativity with the people you're talking to, um, because you're humorous. All of a sudden, people think you're not dangerous, and they kind of underestimate you in a sense, which is obviously, as we know, far from Bunny's character and who Bunny is. He's somebody who should most definitely not be underestimated. Just because you have a couple of laughs with him does not mean he's not going to, display shocking levels of violence, and things like that. And because this is the world that he lives in, that is how he survives in this world, and that is how everybody survives in this world. Everybody, including the good guys, the good guys.
Exactly. So one of the things that I bring up about this show is that it kind of shows how you can't really walk a straight line. In a way, you kind
Yeah.
of have to, turn to the bad side in a way to kind of have a good outcome for maybe both ends and keep things at peace. And that's what we see a lot.
Yeah. It's there's definitely in this world of Kingstown, there's a lot of gray areas. There aren't really too many, distinctive. This is right. This is wrong. There is a lot of, well, if you allow this to happen, then obviously, the consequence must be, you sort of have to be okay with the consequences of it, in order to maintain something perhaps a little bit more than moral virtue, you know, um, um, because this world is saturated by prisons. We're dealing with, uh, in this environment, we're dealing with people who may not have necessarily had the best start in life, and the consequences of that, and how that permeates throughout the society of Kingstown. Um, yeah, but at the end of the day, they're all still human beings, you know.
Definitely, most definitely. So I'm curious, since we can't talk too much about what we can expect of Bunny and what he's going to go through for this season, I'm curious to know how this role has challenged you versus to your past roles.
Um, this role, I guess, with all of the roles I've played to an extent, this role has challenged me in that it's allowed me to really research and really delve into deeper into understanding um, race relations within America. So I've had to understand that through studying American history, and also studying African American history, and studying and understanding the relationships between the institutions in America and how it treats African Americans within that, and understanding the history, and how, because that informs how people behave, or how people choose, what choice they have, what choices are laid before them. It informs behaviors. It informs, things right down to their diet, and I guess their hopes for the future, and things like that. It informs what they dream about. In order for me to delve deeper into that, I have to understand the psychology, and with the psychology comes the history. So I need all of that needs to be in play, so that I can really come to grips with who this guy is, and his experience, and what his experiences might have been, and how they might have affected him, if it was a real person. Yeah.
From your studying, what was one of the things that really shocked you, or you were like at major surprise?
um it was so I watched 13th, and I from that I understood that, um technically, um slavery is made legal by way of incarceration. In some states, I think it is the amendment. Don't quote me on this, but it says that if you have committed a crime, you are now property of the state, which is a technical term for slavery. Which I found, I found that very surprising. Um, Obviously, considering the day and age that we're in, and but it's not something that is solely, it's not something that is solely an American issue. There are also, I come from Nigeria, so there are issues of this kind across. I see issues of this kind across the globe, and it affects a lot of people, women, and generally Africans, across the globe and stuff like that. So yeah, it's one that I understand, but I'd never seen it from an American lens. So yeah.
Well, you're speaking of it, so maybe more people will become aware of it too.
Yeah. This world is, it's not. it's based off people's experiences. You know, it's not a fantasy or anything like that. Like these are stories that have in effect have happened, or somebody has experienced, you know, things like that. I know Hugh Dillon has mentioned in season 1 that he grew up in a prison town. So Kingstown is that's his upbringing. That's what he, you know, he's seen in his life. So it can be quite shocking to come to grips with. It can be quite tough to come to grips with, because it's I would never have expected somebody like Hugh. Hugh is so lovely. He's such a lovely person that when he told me that, I was kind of like, really? I want to hug him, and I want to be like, yo, how did you survive that? You know, like that must have been really tough. And I'd like to, you know, yeah, it makes me want to have more conversations with him, just so I can understand him a bit better and stuff. So I'm just like, it's yeah. I don't know if I've made any sense there. I'm sorry.
No worries. Well, thank you so much, Toby, for your time. I wish we could talk more and spoilers, but we will be surprised.
Yes. Just stay tuned. Keep watching. All right.
That's right. Thank you. You take care. Thank you.
Thanks, Nancy. Take it easy. See you later.
Bye.